Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. So I just want to say thank you to all my old subscribers for hanging in there with me, and welcome to all my new subscribers. And if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe and hit that notification bell to be notified when I upload videos. So when I first got married, I was good for one of these probably about once a week if I'm really honest about it. And now probably about once or twice a month, maybe longer stretches in between. But yeah, I was good for a burnt pot, pan, baking dish, whatever, at least once a week when I first got married. People calling my name, me getting distracted, wanting to get dinner on the table faster. A 2-hour dinner in a half an hour, that was my goal sort of thing. But yeah, it never worked out good for the pans in the end. And I had to find a way to clean these pans quickly and efficiently. And I'm going to show you that today. So this is my extra large bar pan from Pampered Chef. Now, what we normally do in this is our pizzas. It's a stoneware pan, and it is from Pampered Chef. And if you see the bottom, this is the color it was, a nice light tan color. And the top is getting a little dark, and that's the nature of the product. And I didn't know that when I first got it. The first time I used this thing, it was like, oh, it's getting dark, it's burnt up, what am I doing? But after a while, it was like, yeah, this is what it's going to do. It gets darker as you use it. So how I clean it is, I take a bit of baking soda, a bit of white vinegar, and I just sprinkle the baking soda over, and then pour some vinegar on top of it, which activates it. And it helps to release all that grease and food that might be stuck in the pores or stuck on top of it. And I just rub it in just to get some of that action started, to get it started to break up all the food and everything that's left behind. So I do that, and I actually let it sit for a couple of hours, sometimes overnight, depending on how stubborn the stains are. That grease stain right there, I don't know what that is. It was a pizza that came through, and I have never been able to get that out since. So I've stopped trying. So I just rub it in. Sometimes I add a little extra because I'm trying to get almost like a paste consistency, and it's not quite there yet. So I add a little bit more. And then I'm going to probably let this sit overnight, and it does dry out. And that's fine, because your next step is going to be washing it off and trying to get as much of that food as you can off. Now, I use the little plastic scraper that they provided with the pan. So after I've done what the consistency I want to have on it, I actually take this little plastic scraper that they have, and I'm going to scrape off any loose sort of food and things that might have come loose while I'm just rubbing the baking soda around. And then I'm going to just let it sit. I'll probably put it back in the oven, let it sit overnight, and come back to it tomorrow morning. Okay, so it's the next morning, and I'm going to wash the bar pan out. I'm going to put as hot of water as I can, some distilled vinegar into the water, as well as some baking soda. Now, you don't want to put any dishwashing liquid in this because it is porous and it will absorb that. So as you can see, my pan is dry from overnight. It is sort of like dried out baking soda. That's exactly what it is. And it's brought up, you can see the color, it's kind of brown. It's brought up the oils and the grease and stuff from the previous day. Now I use a tea kettle to warm hot water as hot as I can get it, and then I'm just going to pour it over in order to release all that baking soda and lingering excess grease and stuff that might be on my pan. I don't want to use any dishwashing liquid because it is porous. Treat it like cast iron. So I'm just going to take my scrubbing brush and scrub any loose food and stuff that might be still stuck on that I can get off. And then I'm just going to rinse it and let it thoroughly dry before I pack it away. See, that stubborn grease stain didn't go anywhere, but pretty much everything else did come off my pan with just some baking soda, distilled vinegar, and some water and a little bit of elbow grease. And that's all you need to clean your bar pan. And this is stoneware, so that's all you need to clean this sort of pan. So now the star of the show, my stainless steel pots and pans. So I start with some baking soda, and then I pour in some water. This is usually just room temperature water out of my tea kettle. You can use it hot, you can use it cold. Doesn't matter, because we are actually going to turn this on and let it heat up. So what I'm doing, I'm just trying to dissolve the baking soda by swirling it around. I'm going to turn it on to high, and then, well, I put it on medium, but I did turn it up to high. Because I'm impatient like that. So I want it to just foam and bubble up, and you really want to watch it at this point. I actually, if you saw my video on making lard, that pot I did make it in, I actually showed you in that, but for some reason it got deleted. I don't know, me racing, doing things as usual. So if it's in a pot, you really want to watch it, because it will boil over on you. And you just want to let it boil away till it's sort of bubbly like this for about 2 to 5 minutes or so, depending on what pot you're using. But again, watch it, because it will boil over on you. Take my word for it, I've done it. So just let it boil for a couple of minutes, just to release all that food that's stuck on. And then you just want to turn it off and let it cool. I mean, if your hands can stand really hot water, I know mine can, but you want to let it cool a bit to it's like where you can actually stand it. So turn it off and let it cool a little bit, and once it's cooled, so now that it's cooled down, I'm going to wash it in a sink of warm soapy water. And as you can see, the water was quite dark, and I'm just going to not use a scrubby, but use my regular dishcloth to wash it out. And as you can see, it comes off lickety-split quite easily. No scrubbing, no heavy elbow grease or anything like that. That baking soda and water on the hot stove released all that burnt on, caked on food from the night before, because I didn't do it right away, so it was stuck on from the night before, and I actually washed this the next morning. So as you can see, it came off no problem, no scrubbing, no Brillo pad or anything else like that, and it is good as new. These are Cuisinarts, so I don't know if that makes a difference or not, but they have worked for me for several years now. So thank you so much for watching, and you have a great day.